Alright, so hello everybody. Okay, so this is the second review for exam 3, which is on Tuesday. This is covering section 1.4, which deals with circles. So, as you recall, the standard form for the equation of a circle is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. Okay, now remember this does give us a lot of information about the circle. First of all, it gives us its center. Remember, we're going to change those signs so that h is going to become a positive h, that negative k becomes a positive k, and that's how we get the center. We can also then get what the radius is going to be from there. Okay. The radius is given from this r squared. We're going to take the square root of r squared to give us then our radius, which is then just r. Now, as we discussed in class, remember a circle is just a special form of an ellipse. So as you recall, the form for the equation of an ellipse is x minus h quantity squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. Now remember, the a and the b then give you the length of your major and minor axis. So if we take the equation for a circle, okay, oops, forgot the x there. And divide it by the r squared. This then gives us a very special x there. X minus h squared over r squared plus y minus k squared over r squared equals then 1. Now, as you can see, these two equations are very, very, very similar. All right, so what this says is if the denominators are equal, so in other words, if your a squared and your b squared are equal, that means that the ellipse you're dealing with is in actuality a circle. So that's how you know is it a circle or is it an ellipse? So let's go ahead then. Let's take a look at this example. I have x squared plus y squared minus x plus 2y plus 1 equals 0. So as we can see, we are clearly not in standard form. So as we take a look at this, we're going to go ahead. We're going to begin by sorting this all down, getting all of our terms that contain x together, grouping them together, all of our y terms. And then we're going to stick that positive 1 over on the other side. So we're going to move it over by subtracting the 1. Now, as we take a look at this, we then have to go ahead. We have to, again, create an aside using completing the square. And we're going to have to do it twice, once for x, once for y. So we're going to do it for x first. So we're taking that coefficient of the middle term. Okay, so negative 1, squaring it, or dividing by 2 and then squaring it. This then gives me a positive 1/4. So we're going to add then 1/4 to both sides. Okay. And again, then we're going to do it for the y's. So we're going to take again b over 2 and square it. So that's going to be then 2 over 2 squared, which is 1 squared, which is 1. So the magic number we're going to add there is 1 to both sides. Now this magic number enables us to go ahead and to complete those squares or factor both of those terms. And then over here on the right, those 1's will cancel out and leaves me then 1/4. Okay. So as we take a look at this, we can then deduce that we then have a center. Don't forget to change those signs. That's going to be 1/2, negative 1. We then have a radius. We're going to take the square root of 1/4, which is 1/2. So we have a radius of 1/2 with a center of negative 1/2, negative 1. Now from there then, we can go ahead, pull up our graph. Okay. We have a center. We're going to stretch this out a little bit here. Okay. There we go. So we have a center of 1/2, negative 1. Okay, take a screenshot on this so I can draw on it. 1 second here. Okay. So 1/2, negative 1. I do believe that's what it was, correct? Yes. Okay. We're then going to move 1/2 units right, 1/2 units left, 1/2 units up, 1/2 units down, and then play everybody's favorite game of connect the dots. And there we go. We have our circle. All right. I will then upload the next 3 videos here very shortly.